move to the very first, that is a introduction and types of loop. So before starting this concept of loop, remember one example. Suppose I want to print hello one time, then simply we are writing the code like printf in a double inverted hello. But suppose I want to perform print hello 100 times, then what we have to do? We have to write these printf statements again and again for 100 times. And suppose I want to print hello 1000 times, then similar way we have to print that statements again and again 1000 times. So this is useful? No. So to overcome this problem, to write such a code again and again, we have a new concept, and that is very interesting, that we can say the loop. So the definition of loop is what? It is nothing but the sequence of statements that will be executed more number of times up to some condition is true. That is known as loop. And this loop is mainly categorized in two different parts. First is a entry control loop and second is a exit control loop. Now what is the meaning of it? According to its name, entry control, here the condition is at the time of entry. Suppose I say like that, you enter into my classroom if you are completed this work. So this is what the condition that we put at you guys at the time of entry. So this is the example of entry control, but the second name is exit control. And in this case, suppose I say like that, you can go if you have completed this work. So in that case, what happened? The condition is for getting outside, so it is known as a exit control loop. So that type of loop we have to learn in this particular unit. Now see in a details what is the difference between entry control loop and exit control loop. The first difference is what? The body of loop is executed 0 or more times. Now what is the meaning of body of loop? So the statements that we want to repeat more number of time, that is known as body of loop, and that will be executed 0 time. How? Let's understand with simple diagram. First we have to put the condition because it is in a form of entry. So our condition is before the starting. Then if this condition is true, then we have to perform the statements that we want to repeat, and that is we can say body of loop. Again check the condition. If it is true, then again body of the loop is executed. So here you can see the loop constant. So we have to repeat this process again and again until our condition becomes false. And when the condition becomes false, the next statement will be executed. So here you can see like that, if our condition is false, then body of part is executed 0 time. But if the condition is true, then the body of statements or body of loop will be executed more times according to our condition. Now in an exit control loop, the body of loop is executed 1 or more times. How? Understand with diagram. It is an example of exit control. So the body of loop is before the condition. So first execute the body of loop. If it is true or false, that we have to check after it. So the condition is after the body of loop. If the condition is true, then again we have to move to the body of loop. Again check the condition true, then body of loop. So here the repetition is there, that is our loop, and when this condition is false, we have to move to the next statements. So here the body of loop is executed 1 time when our condition is false, and it execute more times when our condition is true. Now the second difference is what? The condition is before or after? The condition is before the body of loop in a entry control, and here the condition is after the body of loop. And the example of these two, the first example is while and second is a for in an entry control loop, and do while is an example of exit control loop. That 3 loop we will discuss in a detail in our next topic. Here the while loop is in a category of entry control. So let's see here the syntax, and that is what? First the initialization is there. Now what is meaning of initializations? So when you are writing any of the program using loop, you need the starting value, then ending value, that is our condition at where you want to stop. Then you have to increment or decrement the value of conditions and then the body of loop. So here the initialization is nothing but what? The starting value from where you have to start your loop. Then after in a while you have to put the condition, and condition is nothing but our ending. Now in a curly bracket we have to write the body of loop, means the number of statements that you want to repeat, and then after the increment or decrement operator, that is according to your logic, and then next statements. So simply this is like a if else. If you write here if and condition curly brackets the number of statements, then it is executed only for one times, but here the keyword is now changed and that is while. So while is by default used for a loop, so it is checked again and again, means condition true, body of loop is executed, again check the condition, body of loop will be executed. That is the concept of while loop. Now see the syntax with one simple example where we want to print numbers from 1 to 3. How we can write program? First we have to include the header file, then after void main, and inside void main we have to declare the variables. Here only one variables we are required for a starting and ending. So start with 1 because our definition has like print 1, then print 2, print 3. Clear? So starting value is I equals 1. Then put the while, and condition is what? How many times? 3 times. So put the condition simple, I less than equals to 3. Then go inside the while loop in a curly bracket, the body of loop means what we want to repeat. So here we want to repeat the printf statements because we have to print something. So in a printf we have to write like /n %d and the value of I. So this body of loop is completed. Now move to the increment and decrement part. So how you justify you want increment operator or decrement operator? For that you have to remember, if your logic, if your starting value is 1 and ending is 3, in that case you have to increase the value, that is 1, 2 and 3. But suppose your logic is just like you have to start with 3 and end with 1. In that case you have to write 3, 2 and 1. So you can use decrement operator, that is according to your logic. In this case we have to apply which concept? Increment, obviously, because our starting is 1 and ending is 3. So just put the I++ and stop the while loop. How this program will execute? First the I value is 1. 1 is less than equal to 3? Yes. So simply print the value of I, that is 1, and increment that value of I, that becomes 2. Now this updated value of I will be checked, that is 2 is less than equals 3? Yes. Then print the value of I, that is 2. Again increment the value of I, that becomes 3. Now move to again the while loop, and the I is updated with the 3 and 3 equal to 3. Again the condition is true. Then we have to print the value of I, that is 3. I is incremented and that is 4. So again check the condition, 4 is less than equal 3? No, now our condition becomes false and our loop is stopped here, and the output is just like 1, 2 and 3. Clear? So this is about the while loop. It is similar to the while loop. You can use while, do while, or the next one is a for to perform any of the logic. The output of any program using while, do while and for will be same. Now see the syntax for a do while. So instead of while, now we have a keyword, that is do, and inside curly bracket we have to write the body of loop and then the increment and decrement operator, and after the ending of do we have to put the while, and in the while we have to put condition, and remember the most important thing, that we have to put semicolon at the end when you are using do while. But suppose you want to print any of the logic using while, then there is a no semicolon at the end of while. So here you have to compulsorily put the semicolon at the end of while. Now how this syntax will be executed? See here the same example to print 1 to 3 using do while loop. So first take the variable, that is integer I, apply the theory, that is do while, do, then in a curly bracket the statements that we want to repeat, that is nothing but the printf. So write the printf /n %d comma I, and again the increment operator we have to use, so just put I plus plus. After completing do, we have to put while, and the condition is I less than equal 3, because here we want only 1, 2 and 3. So ending will be 3 and starting will be 1. Now what is the output of this program? It is similar to the while. Same logic we are writing, only we are changing the concept. From the while loop we are now putting the concept of do while. So the syntax is now changed. The output of this program is same, 1, 2 and 3. I hope you guys understand these two concepts. Now this for loop will be totally different from a while and do while. How? If you forgot to put I plus plus in a while or in a do while, then what happen? Your value will not be incremented. Suppose you print I equals 1 and print I, and you are missing I plus plus in our previous example, then what happen? The 1 is less than 3, 1 is less than 3, all the times condition becomes true and our condition never becomes false, and it goes inside, means the infinite loop will be there. So in this case, to avoid this type of problem, we have a simple method, and that is a for loop, in which the syntax is just like for, and inside for we have to write 3 different statements, that is initialization, condition and increment decrement in a single line. So there is a no mistake to miss any of one. So first initialization is there, then put the semicolon, then condition, put the semicolon, and then increment and decrement. And after completing these statements, we have to write in a curly bracket just only the body of loop and go to the next statements. Same example taken here to print 1, 2, 3 using for loop. Only the change is in a syntax. So here first include the header file, then in a void main only one variable, that is integer I is there. There is a no initialization here because we have to now initialize value inside our for loop. So in a for we have to write like initialization I equals 1, then semicolon, the condition that is I less than equals 3, semicolon, and then I plus plus. Inside this curly bracket just want only the printf statements that we want to repeat. So likewise that we have to write printf /n %d comma I. So here there is a no mistake to miss I plus plus or a condition or a initialization. So never this program will goes in a infinite loop. So the same output is there, that is 1, 2 and 3. But how this for loop will be executed? First is initialize the value, then check the condition, then go inside the body of loop, again increment the value and again check the condition, goes in a body of loop. How it execute is likewise that. So first the I becomes 1, 1 is less than equals 3, go inside the loop, that means print the value of I, that is 1, then increment the value, that is 2, check the condition, 2 is less than 3, yes, then print the value, that is 2, again increment the value 3, 3 equal 3, yes, print the value 3, again increment the value, that is 4, and now the condition 4 less than equals 3 becomes false and go outside of for loop. So our output is same 1, 2 and 3. I hope you guys understand this concept while, do while and for. If you like this video, then thumbs up. If you think this video will help some of your friends, then do share this video with them. Also you can subscribe my channel, so when I upload new video you get a notification.